right. Good morning. Sorry, I must have moved my mat and I didn't put it back right. Anyway, hope you guys had a great long weekend. We're back. So let's go ahead. We'll just get started in a seat, closing down those eyes, sitting up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders a couple times, up by the ears, soften them down and back. Let's do one more big one. And then really relax those shoulders down. So we want that core tight. We want those shoulder blades pulling together in the back. So we're not completely relaxed here. We do want that nice tall spine. Relaxing the shoulders down. And then pulling them back just slightly. So we don't want to be super, super tense here. Just slight engagement in different muscle groups. Lifting that chin so it's parallel to the ground. Just breathing in and out through the nose. On that inhale, feeling that breath as it moves up the spine, really filling those lungs, sitting up a little bit taller. And then on that exhale, we'll keep that nice tall spine. Feel like your sit bones are grounding or feeling a little bit heavier in the mat. A couple more times. Big breath in. And exhale. Try and see how long you can make that exhale. Again, big breath in. And slow down that exhale. A few more times. Start with some neck rolls. So let's drop that left ear over to that left shoulder. Now slowly start to bring that chin to the chest. Pause at the front. And let's sweep that right ear over to that right shoulder. And bring that chin back to the chest. Let's go over to that left side. Back to center and over to the other side. And bring that chin to the chest. But now, lift that head up really tall. So think about, we're not going to tuck our chin down. Think about we're pulling our ears straight back. Like we're trying to, almost like we're giving ourselves a double chin. Okay, now from here, just look up. So as far as your head's allowing. And then bring it back down. So think we're trying to get really long through the neck, like we're trying to lift up through the top of the head. Okay, here. And now start to lift. Bring it back to neutral. One more time, lift that head up. And bring it back to neutral. And now let's inhale those arms up overhead. Let's give it a nice side stretch or twist over to that right side, sitting really tall on that inhale. Exhale, look over that shoulder, a little bit more twist. Let's inhale it back to center, reach those arms up. Exhale, twist it to the other side. Sit really tall. Look over that shoulder, twist. And bring it back to center. Reach those arms up. Side stretch over to that right side. So that right arm is reaching out, left arm reaches up and over. So looking straight forward, or you can start to look underneath, kind of towards that elbow. Grounding through that left hip. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale it to the other side. So right arm reaches up and over. And bring it Back up, lower those hands down. Let's come onto those hands and knees. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath those hips. On that inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, round the spine, press the shoulder blades away, draw that belly up and in. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. And exhale, round. Good. Inhale, lift and lift. Exhale, round. Just bring it to neutral. So keep those hips right above those knees. Core is tight, sliding those hands forward. You grip those fingertips and palms into the mat. Pull the forearms towards each other and then soften that head towards the mat. Maybe it rests down if the shoulders are a little bit tight this morning and that head is lifted. That is okay. Now again, it's okay if the elbows are touching, if you have a little bit more mobility in those shoulders, but we still want to be really, really active in those hands. We're not letting the elbows collapse down towards the mat or rest down. They can be touching, but the arms are still active. And from here, we'll drop those elbows down, slide it forward into that plank, and then hold it here. So pull the toes towards the elbows. Elbows are drawing back, or reaching through that crown of the head. Spine's nice and long. Couple more breaths. Stay really, really tight. This might be kind of a lot this early in the morning. I know it's a little shaky for me. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips down. Point the toes. Draw those elbows back. Lift up through that crown of the head. One more breath. And then go ahead and soften the shoulders down, pressing it back into a child's pose. So let's bring those knees close together, rounding through that back, which is that big extension. So maybe a little rounding feels good. Might even feel a little bit of a stretch through those shoulders if they're a little bit tighter. Now, from here, let's slide those elbows back to the knees. So try to get those knees together to touch. And then the forearms are touching or close. And the elbows are touching the knees. Now from here, into that twist, reaching that right arm out. Palm is down, and then we'll turn the thumb. Back the hand comes to the tailbone. Big breath in. Exhale, look over the shoulder first. And then start to twist. And then inhale, bring it back down. So just nice and easy. Might be feeling a little bit stiff. I know mine is. And then exhale, open up. Inhale it back down. One more time. Exhale, open up. Bring it back down, switching sides. So hook that right elbow to the knee. Left hand reaches out. Turn that thumb down. And comes to that tailbone. Big breath in. And then we'll look over that shoulder as we twist. Inhale it back down. Exhale, open up. Inhale, bring it back down. Last time, open up, twist. And inhale it back down. Go ahead and release, come back to hands and knees. Few cat-cow, so inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest and the tailbone. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Really focus on pressing those shoulder blades away, tucking that chin. And inhale, bring it back to neutral. Let's step those feet back to our plank. And then hips up to the sky, that down dog. Bending into those knees. Pressing the heels down, pressing the hips up. Flexing those quads, the front part of those thighs. So when we flex, we don't want to flex so much that we lock out our knees. We just want a little bit of tension so we feel an even bigger stretch to the back backs of the legs. One more breath. And we'll inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet up top of the mat, sliding the hands to the shins, flatten out that back. Slide the hands down as we fold. Let's bend into those knees. rise up to standing, reaching it up. Side bend over to the right side. So right arm slides down, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale it to the other side. Inhale, reach it on up. Draw those elbows down, so feel going out those arms. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, pull the elbows down. Inhale, send it back up. Last time, draw those elbows down, interlace the fingers behind the back, pull the knuckles down first, and those hands can slide away from those hips. And release those arms up, and exhale, fold. Flat back on that inhale, and exhale, let's plant those hands down, stepping those feet back to our plank. Shift the weight forward. If you need to drop onto those knees, you can lower all the way onto the stomach, pointing those toes, pulling the shoulders down and back, lifting that chest into your cobra. Stay here. Soften it down. Roll the shoulders down and lift the chest, maybe a little bit higher, and down. Now roll the shoulders, lift that chest up if you want to come up to that up dog. You can. Maybe get a little sway from side to side. And then exhaling those hips up to the sky, down dog. And then we'll inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top the mat. Find a half lift. And exhale, fold. Bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Let's rise up to standing. Side bend over to the right. Inhale it up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale it back up. Elbows hold down, just a one-time field goal. Inhale it back up. Exhale those elbows down. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Pull the knuckles down. Hands away from those hips if the shoulders are allowed. And then we'll reach those arms back up. Exhale, fold. Flatten out the back on the inhale. And exhale, we'll plant those hands down. Step those feet back to our plank. Lower. Inhale, we'll lift it right up. So just do the one cobra or up dog. Really pull the shoulders down, lift through the head. And then exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Then watch the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet, top of the mat. Half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Just let that head hang heavy. Let's heel toe walk those feet out a little bit wider. So I'm going to turn the toes out, heels in. So those toes are almost at the edges of the mat. Okay. Sinking those hips down, lifting through that chest. Core stays tight, hands come to heart center. Knees are driving out. Maybe dropping those hips a little bit more. Your breath. And we'll straighten those legs. Turn those feet parallel to each other as you find the flat back on the inhale. And exhale, fold, just let that head hang. Now bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Let's rise up to standing. Reach those arms up tall. Hands will come to heart center. Let's find that balance. So weight is going to be on that right foot. Left knee pulls up to the chest. Now flexing that foot, core is tight. We're not leaning forward, leaning back. We want to be nice and tall. And pull that knee up as high as we can get it. Really strong through that right leg, gripping those toes into the mat. Now bring that knee out wide. Try not to put that foot down. And then we'll come into tree pose. So you can have the foot on that ankle or the calf. You can reach down and grab it. Bring it to that inner thigh. Stay really tight through here, through that core, through that standing leg. Another couple breaths. And we'll take that big step back to our warrior one. So back heel is grounding down. You might want to heel toe walk that right foot out a little bit wider. Square the hips. So right hip back, left hip pulls forward. Press into that back heel. So make sure we're not collapsing into that arch. A little bit more weight on that outside edge of that left foot. And now start to reach those arms up overhead. And use that front a little bit more. Let's draw those elbows down. Interlacing those fingers behind the back. Knuckles pulled down. And then hands maybe come away from the hips. One more breath. And then let's fold it forward so we can cover that chest. Maybe the rib cage touches that inner thigh. Maybe the shoulder comes down to that knee. Let's release those hands. Rise back up to that warrior one. Step both feet forward. And bring those hands to heart center. We'll go to the other side. Left foot down. We're going to pull that right knee up. Keep that core really tight. Bring that knee up as high as you can get it. And we'll come into that tree pose. So bring that knee out to the side. So the foot can be on the calf or the inner thigh. Just try not to have it on the knee, either right above or right below. One more breath. Doing a little bit more challenge, maybe reaching those arms up. Breathe. And we're going to bring those hands back to heart center. Bring that knee forward. Take that step back into that warrior one. Okay, so ground that heel down. So right hip's going to rotate forward. Left hip rotates back. We pressing that heel down, lifting through those arches. Core is tight. And then reach those arms up. Relax through those shoulders. Reaching up strong through those fingertips. And pull those elbows down. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Open through that chest. And then we'll start to fold. So maybe you hover that chest. Maybe rib cage comes the inner thigh. Maybe that shoulder comes down and touches that knee. One more breath. And then release those hands. Rise back up. And let's step both feet forward. Reaching those arms up and back. Then exhale, fold. Inhale, find that half lift. So flatten out that spine. Exhale, fold. Now heel to walk those feet out a little bit wider. So toes to the edges of the mat. Maybe wider, maybe a little bit more narrow, just depending on where that comfortable spot stance is. And then we'll sink those hips down, lifting through that chest. Bring those hands to heart center. Really press those knees out, grip to those toes. A couple more breaths. Now from here, you can lower those hands down and just roll it on back. Extending those legs out. So we're going to come into a seat. Point the toes. Squeezing those legs together. Okay. Reaching those arms forward. A little bit of core as we roll down. We're going to go really, really slow. Okay. Yeah, it's not that slow. 10 seconds. Try and feel each individual vertebrae as you roll. Okay. So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big reach. Arms will reach up over your head, reaching through those toes. And we'll bend into those knees. Plant those feet. We're going to cross. There we go. The right ankle over that left leg. We're going to grab onto maybe the left hamstring to start. If you can keep that tailbone down, spine nice and flat on that. And reach for that shin. Lifting through the chest, the low back, and then that tailbone is grounded down. Let's lower that foot down. Tee out those arms. And this, with the ankle crossed over, just keep dropping those knees over to that right side. Bring it back to center. We'll switch sides, crossing that left ankle over, and then hug that knee. So we're going to be grabbing onto that hamstring or to that shin, tailbone down. Pulling those toes back, lifting through that chest. And then lower. Yeah, foot down. Tee out those arms. And drop the knees over to that left side. Bring it back to center. And uncross. Hug those knees in. Let's rock it forward. Come up to that seat. Being cross-legged. Hands are resting on the knees. Just pause. Just a couple of breaths here. Eyes are closed down. Shoulders are relaxed. Big breath in through the nose. And out through the nose. Couple more. Keeping those eyes open. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Have a great day. And I will see you all back here tomorrow. All right. Have a good one.